And welcome back to another episode of Red Zone Report. Our passion, your entertainment, new era. I am Jordan Rossell here with my co-host Carlos Magdaleno, and this is another episode where we will talk about all Husker sports, all of college football, all the latest sports, and give you all the updates. Yeah, let's dive right in. What a week it was for the state of Nebraska.
Nebraska is
Man,
bowl eligible, right?
that's the most important topic. I mean, eight
But
long years,
yes, long years and even longer without beating Wisconsin, and we routed them.
We did.
Just a good weekend for Nebraska sports, though. You know, we beat number 15 Creighton in men's basketball.
Straight, right? Friday night.
Yeah, swept.
We led the whole game, man.
Yeah,
We look good.
yeah. Swept Wisconsin in volleyball for the second straight time this year.
Yeah, solid.
That was a good weekend for Nebraska sports.
Shout out to Merritt Beeson for going number one.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Bro.
I saw that and I was like, wow.
Yeah. And then we have one ex-Husker, one Husker going to the Omaha Supernovas, Lindsey Krause and Allie Batenhorst. So that's good to see.
Yeah. And then Layla Blackwell. Yeah, going back to San Diego.
First year at the Huskers. But yeah, I mean, that's good to see. Interested to see that we didn't see Lexi. I wonder if she just...
Yeah, that was surprising. I don't know if she's got something else going or...
She would have been top 10 pick for sure. Like,
yeah,
one of the best liberos ever to play the game. I mean, one of the best at Nebraska, if not the best. I think she was chasing a record.
Yeah, she was chasing the Diggs record.
Yeah, and I think she probably got it the last Wisconsin game. But anyway, yeah, great weekend to be a Husker fan. Obviously, even a better weekend to be a Husker football fan. Like we said,
What a week.
8 long years, 10 long years. Was it 10 or 11? 10, 11, way too long against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What a game it was. I mean, a lot of emotions in that game, right? Like, we got up early and we just kept the pedal down. Offense looked stellar, right? We put up 44 points. Like, that's
big shout out to Dana. I think a lot of that had to do with Dana play calling, being aggressive. Because I was listening to Matt Rule, his press conference, and he was saying, you know, I wouldn't, if it were me doing that, I would have let the pedal off and would have tried to run the ball more. No. I like the way that Dana went at it because you see how Wisconsin came back and kept responding.
Yeah.
And Dana was like, we're going to keep the pedal to the metal. We're going to keep passing the ball. We're going to get in the end zone. And why not?
Yeah.
Did you, because the way I see it, did you not see our offense the whole game? Why not keep doing that?
Nobody was stopping us. You know what I mean? Like, we were getting everything we wanted out of that.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't anything that we weren't trying and getting. I liked the new wrinkle that we put in our offense. We had 2 running backs side by side.
Yeah, the split back. Yeah, that was cool.
Just a little new look that we haven't seen in a while. Motion them out.
Because it confuses defense. Defenses when they see 2 running backs on the field, they don't know which way the play is going to go.
Nope.
But it was just nice to see just a difference and like how 2 weeks can make when you have somebody that's really offensive minded and knows how to call an offense week in, week out. But
I think, Dylan settled in this game, right? We saw a lot of good things from Dylan.
Yeah.
Nothing, too extravagant, but I mean, it was a all around put together game for Dylan. Other standout players, Ja'Cory Barney, he was the Big Ten freshman of the week. Had a crazy game once again. Another freshman coming out. And the connection that him and Dylan have is just remarkable. I mean, say that they're, best friends and they do everything together, and you can really see how that, relays to the football field. He was just finding him, and, you think back to how Patrick Mahomes just would always throw it up to Tyreek Hill. And you see a lot of that with Dylan and Ja'Cory. Just always, you know what I mean? And he's like a trusty guy. He throws it up, and Ja'Cory goes up and gets it.
Yeah.
What is he, 6 foot, 170 pounds? Man, he's pretty big, but
no, he's a skinny guy.
Physical.
Yeah, and that's what I like about him being on our offense is he's not scared no matter his size, no matter who they're going against. He plays football and that's it. He plays football. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes out for a pass. He does everything he can to try and make the play, which is what you want to see in players, and you like to see the players just give their full effort no matter when they're out there.
Yep.
But he and Emmett Johnson was pretty much unstoppable. I mean,
190 yards,
yeah,
113 rushing, 85 receiving. Like, that man, he was putting on moves. Nobody was touching him. And you start to think, like, where was he the rest of the season? You know what I mean? Like, why haven't we played him? That's what I was thinking about the whole game. But, it's just like opportunities come at the perfect time. And his name was called, and he showed out at the perfect time. And I think
also
ways.
And I think another thing was like, I think when Dana come in, he said, you guys have to break tackles. When you have a one-on-one, that's something that you have to make a man miss. And I think that really stuck with him and made him be more, made him want to be more agile and have a better vision on the field. I mean, he's always been shifty, juke, he's always got the jukes on him, but I think that really helped him out coming into this game, knowing I got to go out there and not just hit the hole. I got to make a man miss. And I think he did exactly that.
Absolutely. I mean, out of the backfield, of the ball, obviously, he was getting 7.1 yards a carry. That's the stat you want to see, right? 7 yards a carry. Yeah. That's pretty remarkable.
Because look what it does for you. Look what it does for you offense. Look what it does for you in the air.
Yeah.
Look what it does for him even. He going out for the screen and running for 40 yards. It makes everything a lot more simple.
Yeah. And then power back Dante Dowdo came in, got 3 tutties. Like that's cool to see. You know what I mean? Like a guy that's put in the work all year finally pays off, gets on the board 3 times, had 10 carries for 41 yards. Obviously Emmett Johnson took most of the load. Yeah, and then
considering he had the most yards and 0 tutties, but
yeah, I know, right? That's
the way it goes. That's where I thought.
Yeah, but like you were saying, it loosens up, that back end, and you start to be able to throw the ball to, just about anybody you want. Jamal Banks had four catches for 52 yards, and I felt like he had more than that. That he got open at big moments in the game, and he caught some good throws by Dylan in crucial parts of the game that you just was like, wow, that was a really good play to keep us going. Looking down the line here, it looks like we had different receivers catch a pass, and that's something you want to see. Obviously, getting the ball spread out. Dea Garcia Casanega, he got in the game the first time this year, caught a pass. Love to see it for a guy that's been through so much that he has. Yeah, I mean, really all around, it was a great offensive game for the Huskers. Then we move over to the defensive side, and it was an okay game.
The run stop was great.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I shouldn't say it was great. It got the job done,
Yeah.
Obviously, our secondary needs some help. Just too many explosive plays. They throw 2 passes in the end zone. One was on, I think, Malcolm. Was it Malcolm?
I think I remember which
player. And then one was on Sierra. I know that for sure. But, just little things like that to the same guy, just the corner of the end zone. And then we completely missed assignments. I mean, Isaac Gifford misses assignment. We get blown out. Just busted coverage. It was what was that, like a 50-yard pass?
Yeah, and I watched that play, and it looked like, Isaac Gifford was playing run on that play when he should have been.
Yeah, he did anticipate run. And they said that, but, I mean, that's just something that
you can't do.
You have to stick to your assignment rather than what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, just
stop the run all game, and then you give up a play like that. That's just like a deflation play that we can't allow happen. And you have to know that you got Bly Hill out there who's only played in 2-3 games this season.
You got to be help. You got to help him.
Bryson Green, the guy that beat him, or it wasn't Bryson Green.
It was something Anthony.
Vinny Anthony. He was the one that beat him. And he was probably their best receiver going into the game.
Even though whoever number 9 was, something Green.
Yeah, Bryson Green.
He's the one
2
that
touchdowns.
Solid passes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give it to Braden Locke. He dropped those in the bucket.
He did.
I mean, there's only so much you can do when he's dropping passes like that. And
he had some pretty good stats just looking at the numbers. He was 20 for 30, 292 yards, and 3 touchdowns, averaging 9.7 yards per play. I mean, not per play, but per pass attempts. But those are pretty good numbers. And just looking at the numbers, you'd think that it would be a lot closer game, if not maybe a win. I don't know. But, like you're saying, he was dropping dimes and putting them where he needed to put them for sure.
And then another thing is, it doesn't. The thing that gets me is like how we have this front seven that's so physical and great, and they are good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're good. I just don't get why we can't get to the quarterback. I don't know if it's something to do with, not enough people blitzing, not enough people getting pressure on the offensive line. But I think that's something that they really need to look into. And it's just another thing.
We were talking about it. I mean, early in the season, we had, we were averaging 1, 2, 3 sacks a game, right? And these last 4 or 5 games, you just haven't heard much from that front 5 and front 7. It's just they're not getting to the quarterback on crucial times, and maybe it is the blitz packages that we're calling. Yeah, I mean, they got the job done, right? You'd like to see, 14 points held off that scoreboard to make this game look a little better. Even on the offensive side, I felt like we could have capitalized a little bit more. Johnny Hole, talk about the guy coming from rock bottom. I mean, he was 5 this game.
Yeah, he's really improved this season.
He has. I mean, I was sweating the last couple games, putting him out there, and by the last kick of this Wisconsin game, I had confidence that he was going to make that, and he sure did. So I mean, good for him. Like all the negativity and doubt that he had this season could have went the other way, and he turned it around, and he's a pretty good season out of it. So but that could have easily been a 56-17 game. But hey, win's a win.
We're going bowling. We put up 44. We put up 44 since that was the first time since what, UTEP?
I'm saying, and that's a Big Ten team too that we put up 44 points against.
Exactly. I mean, it's just it was good to see. Yeah, my score prediction was 17-13. Wisconsin. I did not expect this game to be.
I sure did. 44 points.
But we will take it. It's a win. Yeah. And moving on to next week, we have Iowa rivalry week. We're going in there.
Half-point dog.
I don't know what to expect. Obviously, Iowa has a great defense, great special teams like they usually do. Their offense, that's been struggling. They're on their third-string quarterback right now, and I mean, there's only so much you can do when you have your third string in. So
Tamara potentially coming back is what we're hearing. Still up in the air, which makes it difficult for a defense to prepare. You're having to prepare against 2 different quarterbacks, but at the same time, they're about 75% run, 25% pass. And they do it well. Like they run the ball well. Obviously, they've got 2 backs that can run the ball. And I feel like
Caleb Johnson, well over 1,000 yards, and he's the reason why this team is 7-4. Because if it wasn't for him, they probably wouldn't be bowl eligible.
They might not be bowling.
And that's one thing for Nebraska that they have to work on this week is something that they have to focus on is really dialing in, stopping that run. You want to make this Iowa team pass. You want to force them to throw the ball.
Absolutely.
And if we can't do that, then we're probably going to end up in another game where it's going to come down to the last drive, last play.
Yep.
And how often does it go in our favor? Never.
Hey, well, let's change the script here, right?
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I feel like this is
that's Nebraska's luck.
I feel like this is gonna be a big game. Like the time of possession is gonna be crucial, right? We're gonna have to capitalize on every possession and maximize the amount of points that we're getting on the possessions that we do get, right? Settling for three might not be getting it done, right? We've got to put it in the end zone. You talk about their red zone percentage, really high, right? That's
90% in the red zone, and then their defense in the red zone is 80%.
So
I mean, it's give and take, but you really don't want to play a team that's 90% in the red zone, honestly.
No, we gotta win the turnover battle. We got lost in that, and we've got to control the time of possession.
And back to what you were saying. You're saying like time of possession. I think if Nebraska can be able to throw the ball well and just overwhelm them, that would be the best. Because I was expecting, who's going to be able to run the ball in August? Who's going to be able to keep it on the ground? I think we should just open it up, air it out.
Score fast, right?
Score fast. Make them have to score early. Make them not be able to hold the ball as long.
Wouldn't this be crazy if the time of possession was Iowa 40 minutes, Nebraska 20 minutes, and we still somehow beat them? Because we're capitalizing fast and we're getting 7 instead of 3. You know what I mean?
I think 40 to 20 is a little crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what I mean? Like them controlling.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's just fast. I think where you're going with this has very high potential. I like the way you're thinking in this, and I feel like there's an opportunity for us to do that because of the way our offense is playing. I think. Go ahead, sorry. I know
with Dana, like I think that is what he wants to bring into this game. He doesn't want to have the narrative just grounded pound like Matt Rule, because we've seen what him and Satterfield have done, and it's good, but it's not enough to win in the Big Ten. It seems like,
right?
Because look at Iowa State or Ohio State, Michigan in the last couple of years, and Penn State. You can't just run the ball.
No, you can't.
You got to have weapons on the outside.
No, modern day, you have to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, and so I think if Nebraska can air it out, get the ball to Ja'Cory, get it in your playmakers' hands, throw back shoulder passes to Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nair, you're going to be perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you'll have a problem at all throwing the ball, forcing them to have to work more than just time of possession because they're going to run themselves out of time.
Yeah. Last year, I feel like their secondary going into this game was one of the best secondaries in the nation, right?
Yeah, because of
what's his name? What's the NFL first-rounder?
Cooper
DeJean, yes. He was one of the best players in the NFL nation at the time, right? So it was hard for us to capitalize on those throws. Going into this year, obviously, not as great of a secondary, So I feel like we need to capitalize on that. And last year, I feel like it was a game that got away from us, right? We had the ball to drive, and we fumble it, and they go down, kick a game-winning field goal. We lose 13-10. I do not think it's going to be a 13-10 game this game.
I don't think so. The way that I looked at it going into Wisconsin, and I was like, neither of us are going to score points. This is going to be an ugly game. I thought it was going to look like the Purdue game.
Yeah. And what happened?
Somehow, it just blew my mind. But
I hope, man, we got to keep it rolling, right? I mean,
I think you just got to trust in Dana calling plays, and then the players going out there and making the plays.
Yeah, one of the things I heard in the presser this week was when they were talking to Dylan, and the question was, what are the players' reaction about, this is going to be the last time that the team celebrates 6 wins.
Yeah.
Dylan kind of laughed about it, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to be celebrating 6 wins next year. Maybe it'll be playoffs next year." And you love to hear that kind of stuff. Like, that's a man who's hungry. Well, I mean, he just wants to improve every week, right? Like we got an extra. Oh, here's a stat. Just came on the top of my mind, right? So they put a stat up on the game.
On the bowl games, yeah. Well,
Wisconsin has been to a bowl game last eight years, right? And we've been to a bowl game 0 times in the last 8 years. And this means that Wisconsin's had, on like average number of practices, 115 more practices than Nebraska. In 8 years, it's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a lot more time to develop players, is it not?
Exactly. And then that's like the younger players getting more time. They were talking to Matt Rule today, and they were saying, what's it going to be like having a senior graduate and then come practice with you for the bowl game? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to get a couple extra practices in, see what it's like to be on a team that's still in season, wanting to win a game and go out on the right foot. Like, that's going to be huge for these recruits, and just to see that and like get to like in the groove of things. And we need to get on a run here, and we need to make, like, not celebrate for 6 wins. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I was listening to Nebraska commit Dawson Merritt in an interview today, and he was pretty much just saying, like, be ready, because this class we're bringing in has got something special. We're bringing a powerful force, and
man,
expect more than just a bowl game. Expect us to be in the playoffs, because he's expecting to play. He wants to play as soon as he gets there, obviously, but he's saying, expect us.
Expect more players. I'm so anticipating who he is talking to. You've got some pull with some guys around the nation, right?
There's 2 confirmed. We just don't know who yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who are they?
They were confirmed coming. We just don't know yet.
Are they going to be offensive weapons? Are they going to be defensive weapons? Both?
I don't know.
Like, it's just like a triple effect, right? Like, it started with Dylan, and now we get some success, and people are wanting to come play with Dylan. Obviously, Dylan doesn't have a good chemistry. So, it just takes a couple of weeks.
We're going to probably find out a lot here this next week with National Signing Day coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be, it's going to be a roller coaster. And I also heard with this, we know Malachi Coleman left the program. Matt Rule is like, hey, we're going to lose 30 to 40 guys here in this upcoming fall.
Crazy to think, man.
What?
Yeah.
But in the end, it's like, really, how many guys actually play? Yeah,
you're right. Right. It's going to be interesting to see, like, who does leave and who does come back, right? Who's going to be our guys next year? Who are we building around, and who? Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a fun time. That's all I'm saying. I guess obviously fun weekend. Obviously this week got the monkey off our back. We aren't stressing about making a bowl game. We know we have another game. Just laid it all on the field. Obviously rivalry week with Iowa. Obviously everybody wants this game. It's obviously obviously. I've said obviously like 10 times the last minute. So it's obviously a pretty emotional game for all of them, especially those seniors going out for the last game. Yeah, I guess let's touch on the shakeups in college football last week.
We
had a crazy weekend. So it starts with Ohio State, Indiana. Kind of started off pretty slow game, right? State kind of kicked it in, ended up beating them 38-15. Kind of what we expected, right? He was high on Indiana, saying that this is their year. They're gonna make a statement against Ohio State. I wasn't really bought into it. Now the committee has a chance to do something kind of crazy though. Like Indiana,
it's tough.
It is.
Everything that I've been seeing is keep them in.
Yeah, I feel like there's 12 teams, right? 10, 11, 12.
And who else? There's teams to bring in, but who else would you bring in over them,
You're right. They're not a bad team, you know what I mean? So they've been putting up points.
I do hope we get smoked though in the first round.
Yeah. Another Big Ten matchup, Penn State, Minnesota. Kind of came down to the wire, 26-25. Man, that Minnesota team, they are a team every year, man. Yeah. They are a 8-9 win team, and they will fight with just about anybody in the nation. Good for him. Their coach, help me out, bald guy, PJ Fleck. Fleck. Yeah, he's a good coach. I am so bought into that guy. Like, tie and all. That man, he puts it all out there. You know what I mean? Like, he's cool.
Yeah, he's
a cool coach. Other games in the week, obviously Miami took care of business. Florida upsets Ole Miss 24-7. Dart threw 2 picks in the last minute and 13 seconds of that game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was really pulling for Ole Miss. I was hoping that they would have a good postseason and make a run, but not going to get it done this year. Hopefully they get a good bowl game.
Yeah. And, there's still a chance.
Yeah, I mean, small
it's very, very small.
Very small, but we'll see.
You just never know.
Yeah. You taking care of business. Texas taking care of business. Arizona State, BYU might have been one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy.
It was.
Yeah, it was. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying it was.
One game,
yeah.
The guy on fourth down dropped back, threw it out of bounds. There was 9 seconds on the clock. They thought the time ran out. They reviewed it. Apparently put 1 second back on the clock. It was fourth down, so turnover, right? They give BYU the ball. They threw up a Hail Mary. The ball came short. It was about the 3-yard line. BYU receiver catches it, but he was short of the touchdown. Obviously, that would have been a crazy game if BYU would have scored that. But BYU falls to Arizona State. Arizona State making some noise in the Big 12. You better watch out. Got a big game this week. Colorado falls to Kansas in Arrowhead. You did.
I called it.
You did call it. That was quite the game.
I'm tired of telling you.
Their unis, though, the blue tops on the red pants, those things, man, they're slick.
They clean up.
Dame obviously took care of business against ranked number 19 undefeated Army. Pretty good win for them. I think one of the best games this week was Oklahoma taking it to Bama.
That was crazy. Crazy.
Only scored 3 points, man.
3
points.
I will say they got robbed out of that touchdown from Williams. But
yeah, it was late in the game. What did it really matter? 24-10, give them the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it was.
They got smacked.
And
OU's going bowling.
Very humbling for them.
OU's going bowling. It was a big game. They obviously stormed the field just as us for their 6th win, so we weren't the only ones storming the field.
Well, I mean, theirs was probably more credible.
Yeah, I'd say so. But, hey, 8 years is a long time.
It is.
Last game of the week, that was kind of crazy, down to the wire. 4 overtimes. Auburn against Texas A&M. Kind of a crazy game. 43-41. No, it's just Auburn, that's pretty kind of a rivalry game. Wouldn't say rivalry, but there was a lot of emotion. A lot of tempers flaring in that game. I watched that one. Texas A&M had a chance to tie it, to go into the 5th overtime in the end zone. It hits him right in the hands, and he drops it. So, devastating loss to them, but crazy win for Auburn. Texas A&M obviously has another big game this week. Could make or break their season. So, with that being said, we'll go into our 6 and 60 segment. We put time up on the clock. I asked him 6 games. He asked me 6 games. We have 60 seconds to pick the winner. Carlos, you want to go first? Actually, update. We have to give him an update. Last week was a good week for Jordan, I will say.
Yeah. It goes up 1, whatever.
I went 5-1. He went 4-2. And the current standing is Jordan 26-10, Carlos 25-11.
I was trying to be bold, and I came up short. I did get one right. I was being bold with the kid game, and I got that right.
Yeah,
but, I got screwed out of that Oklahoma-Alabama game. I'll tell you that.
What do you mean? Come on, no?
Really?
Maybe? Come on.
I mean, come on, bro. They're trash.
Yeah, that was crazy. I wouldn't have picked that either. I like OU, but not over Bama. That's crazy. That's a good win for them, though. All right. We'll start a timer here, and whenever you're
asking you first. You're asking me first. All right, I'll ask you. Oh, sorry. Oklahoma State at Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado just lost. I think at home, Colorado gets it done. Ollie Gordon's going to have a good game, but Shadur is also going to have a good game. He's going to throw for like 300.
All right. Cal at SMU. SMU's hot.
SMU is very hot right now, and nobody's slowing them down. Cal, probably not going to get it done. SMU wins it.
Okay. Arizona State at Arizona.
Arizona State. I know they're an away team, but not really the away team.
Okay, tricky one. Arkansas at Missouri.
Not a far road game, but I like it.
Okay. Texas at Texas A&M and College Station.
Nope. Away team. Texas takes it. Texas.
So,
Yep.
all right. Kansas State at Iowa State.
State. They're solidifying the Big 12.
Well, that's easy enough.
Just in time. Just in time.
As you know,
At Texas A&M, that's going to be a good game. I will admit. I'm pretty confident in Texas because I feel like this is their second strongest game of the year. They have to make a statement, right? This is crucial time for them to make a statement.
So does Texas A&M.
Right?
It's at home.
You're right.
It's going to be a tough game for Texas.
Wins it.
It's not going to be easy.
Texas A&M
If it were me, I would have took Texas A&M. That's just me, though.
No, that's tough. That's like taking OU over Oklahoma, though.
OU over Oklahoma, and that's why you're an Oklahoma fan.
OU over Bama, sorry.
And that's exactly why you just picked Texas over Texas.
That's like taking OU over Bama, though. Yeah.
Texas A&M was ranked. What were they ranked?
They haven't played anybody.
15?
They haven't played anybody, though.
And who is OU's played? Tennessee. But they're also 5-5.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not like OU Bama.
It's kind of, but not really. I get it.
Because Bama ain't that great.
Oh.
Wow, Texas great.
No.
Okay. On to my 66. Set up a timer.
All right, here we go. First game.
Timer?
I got a timer.
All right.
First game is Michigan at Ohio State.
Ohio State rolls them, I think. It's at Ohio State. They take it.
Notre Dame at USC.
Notre Dame at USC. Notre Dame goes to USC, rolls them.
Bowl, Auburn at Bama.
Going to be close. I think it's going to be like last year. It's going to come down like last possession. But I think Bama wins it.
Oklahoma, LSU.
LSU at home. They take it.
All right, 30 seconds. South Carolina at Clemson. Probably the best game of the week.
South Carolina goes in. They've had a tough schedule. I'm going to take South Carolina in this. They play really, really well against good teams.
All right, that's fair. Last game, Miami at Syracuse.
Miami goes indoor, and Cam Ward just be dropping dimes on them.
That's fair. I think this is going to be a big game for him. So that kind of concludes our segment 6 and 60. Last topic, we're going to make a score prediction for Nebraska, Iowa this weekend.
I'm so confused.
Iowa, I know. This is tough, man. We both were so wrong last week with the Wisconsin game, and I hope we're wrong again this week. I mean, maybe not, right? Depending on our picks, but what's the score? We are 5.5-point dogs.
I'm going to say
game in Iowa.
I'm going to say 27-17 us.
I like that. I was thinking more like 31-27, 31-24. Yeah, I'm writing this down. 31-24. You were, what was it?
27-17.
7.
I mean, both offenses are only averaging about 23 points a game.
That's what we said last week, but
it's just so confusing.
I know. That's why I was kind of up on my points. Obviously, we'll come back and touch on that next week. Hopefully, we're sitting in this exact same spot with a win against Iowa. Going into a bowl game, feeling good, right? I just think this week you had a way better, emotional state, right? You were happy that the Huskers won, for a long time. Obviously, Husker fans poured a lot of emotions into, especially Husker football, but it's a good feeling.
Well, guys, that was a podcast. We're gonna get out of here.
That's what you call a podcast.
Come back next week. We're gonna pretty much do the same thing, talking about Iowa. We're gonna kind of give our bowl predictions next week on who we might play. Probably talk about the playoffs, considering we're gonna be going into conference championships and stuff like that. So come back next week. It's gonna be a week full of new information. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Again, we are live on all 3 platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Visit our Instagram. Check in with our Instagram, rc.report. Active on those Instagram posts. Tell us your thoughts. Give us some ideas on what we can talk about. What do you want us to hear from us? We want to give the listeners what they want to hear, right? Our passion, your entertainment.
Got it.